What? Sitting down at the last second on a Sunday night. Hello, Megaleech. Is this what's right? Just trying to get me to buy McAfee. Fuck off. Hello. Jumping in last minute as per usual. Got myself an experimental drink. That is actually pretty good. It mostly tastes like chocolate. It does have a decent whack of brown creme de cacao in it, but it also it's got so many other things. Cognac and orange curacao and rum, pineapple and tequila. It is a Frankenstein drink. It is basically, I haven't done this for a while, but I made a video on Friday night of 5 Christmas videos in 5 minutes. 5 Christmas-y cocktails I thought people could make in less than 60 seconds each. And I think I drank 1 or 2 of them on the stream. And the rest I chucked together and milk clarified, which is what this is. And it's actually not bad. As I said, it's mostly chocolatey, which is interesting. Hellion, hello, Kirsten. And I am, because I did, okay. So I'm just going over here, do the close-ups video, which I did a little bit earlier. So I had the same cocktails all over again. So man, I got clarified cocktails for the whole week because this is like 5, 6 drinks, 6 or 7 drinks actually. So there you go. Hello, Safa, how's it going? So yes, my first taste test this evening is my Frankenstein clarified cocktail, which is actually pretty good. As I said, little chocolatey treat. It doesn't look like chocolate, does it? So the color of chocolate is an illusion. Its flavor is not dependent on color. So I've clarified out the brown from the brown creme de cacao, and but it still tastes like chocolate. The fact that it's beating out all the other flavors is mildly interesting to me. Beating out the cognac and orange liqueur and tequila and rum and even pineapple juice. Can I taste anything else? It's just sweet. As I so often say about the clarified cocktails, that makes it a bit dangerous because it doesn't taste like alcohol. Hey, Celtic King. Yeah, it does not taste alcohol, but it has alcohol in it. As I said, it's got cognac and rum and some liqueurs and some tequila. So there's a bunch going on in there. So yeah. So we're going for the good vibes. Not sure, Megaleech, if that's meant to do an emoji. Then the chat that I'm seeing through StreamYard, it's just saying text good vibes. That looks to me like it's meant to be an emoji, which then just makes me think the StreamYard chat doesn't show emojis. I bet YouTube does. If I quickly look on YouTube, because I'm bored and that's the thing I do. Yes, it does. Yeah. The emoji shows up on YouTube. It just didn't show up on StreamYard. So there you go. And I'm the only one who sees StreamYard, so it doesn't matter. Rays, how you going, man? Good to see you. Oh, Kirsten, you might be interested in this. I'm going to have a little tasty taste. I haven't tasted it yet. I was out getting some stuff today, and slightly surprising, Dan Murphy's had a limited edition Starward octave barrels, being aged in Yalumba Shiraz barrels. Slightly higher proof than usual, 48% instead of 40%. So they filled the barrel in 2018 and bottled it in 2021. So it sat in the barrel for 3 years. Yeah, and this is a bit pricey, and I wasn't going to get it, but there was a members deal at Dan Murphy's, and I went, you know what, fuck it. It's Christmas. It's frickin' Christmas. So happy holidays to me. Say that just to upset any weirdos. I'm going to taste that in a bit. I'm going to finish this first. But I am going to taste this. It's very dark from the wine barrels, darker than the average Starward. Hey, Musical Aviator, how's it going? Yes, Safa. StreamYard's not the abyss. That's social media generally is the abyss. Ooh, Kirsten, Nova's on special again. Is that direct from what do you call it, Starwood, or is that like Dan Murphy's or something? Because I did see it was like $10 off at Dan Murphy's, which is not bad. Better than poking the eye with a blunt stick. And I am almost out of Nova, in fact. But now I have this single malt. It's 50% more expensive than Nova, so I don't know. Yeah, Dan's. Yeah, I did see it at Dan's, $10 off, which is not bad. And I am almost out of Nova, so maybe I might get. I didn't get it today because I got this. May or may not get it at Dan's. You know, $10 is $10. You know, $20, then I can't resist. If I see a $20 off special, I'm like, got to get that. So yeah, Nova's $10 off, and Two Folds $5. I haven't had Twofold in ages. I almost might get some Twofold because it's such an easy drink. It's so easy drinking. But yeah, I got serious drink, which I will try actually quite soon because I was testing this, my Clarified drink. So, Safa, your sister, boyfriend who's from town, visited Melbourne. Oh, I saw her today. Nice. Went by the river. It was a nice. God, they had to swim in the river. That's crazy stuff. I just think the river's full of disease. There's no way going in the river. It's toxic. Okay, I'm while this is going on, I'm actually doing clarifying. Oh, you can see it a bit. Because this, among the cocktails I made, one had eggnog in them. So this is what it looked like. And you see how it's clarifying, really clear. Milk clarification, it's wild. So that might not even be finished by the end of the stream. That might run overnight. But basically, then I'm going to have a lot of pre-prepared clarified cocktails. So drinks to last me through a week of live streams, basically. So I did used to swim in the Dubbo River, but the Dubbo River is a proper river in the country, fast flowing, that isn't getting quite as much shit dumped directly in it. The Yarra is just, oh God, all the outer suburbs where the people either have leaking septic tanks or they don't even bother then, and they have their sewage pipes just dumping straight into the river. The Yarra is literally full of shit. And I think it's quite dangerous to your health to swim in there. Get poisoned, you get infections, skin irritations, all that sort of thing. Okay, so what I say about these things being dangerous, I feel a little bit drunk now. Didn't taste like alcohol at all. Safi, yes, the Murray's a proper river. Also, because it's in a country area, it's just not as bad as in the city. So, yeah, whereabouts in the Yarra? Were they like literally in the city, swimming in the Yarra in the city? Because no way would I do that. Chipped my fingernail. It's really annoying me because it catches on things. Suppose I just need to cut it really short. Stop biting it. Got to talk to myself to say stop biting it. Okay, so I think now is the hour. So I have a park area. I don't know what you mean by park area. As I say, do you mean in Melbourne or somewhere out in the suburbs? You just gave it the Yarra up north, bit shallow, barely over your ankle. Less swimming, more walking on wet rocks. Yeah. Yeah, well, the big giveaway is like years ago. I don't know, was it 10 years ago? There's a lot of rain. The Yarra burst its banks. Oh, in your town. Okay, Safa. The Yarra burst its banks and like South Bank was underwater for a couple of days and then it receded. And what had happened is when the Yarra flooded and then receded, it dumped a lot of mud, like a layer of mud about this thick on the footpaths. And there was no mistaking, as it baked in the sun, it absolutely just smelled like shit because it was shit. Oh, yes, Megalich, good call. Happy anniversary to Kirsten and husband. Very happy anniversary to the two of you. And I shall now toast your relationship with my classy new whiskey. So I'm going to get a little shot glass. Probably have people saying, you should do it in a Glencairn glass. Like, yeah, maybe. I do not have a Glencairn glass. I have things like a Glencairn, I guess. Ooh, first time opening that. A little bit, oh my God, that's such a mellow smell. Okay. I'm going to have a decent go at this. Right. Let's let it air for a bit. I'll let the whiskey air. So if there'd be dead people from the 19th century in the Yarra. Yeah, musical aviator, Feb 2011. Building you worked in had roof collapse. People had canoes in Flinders Street. I was working at Lonely Planet in Footscray at the time, where we could see the river, and it looked freakishly high at that point. But yes, it actually burst its banks in the city. Okay. I never have the right words for tasting spirits, but what does it remind me of? It's almost flowery. It's for a whiskey, for a relatively high proof whiskey. It's very gentle on the nose. Yeah, now that's got into my head. Oh, and it's like really gently warming my sinuses as it goes up. Yeah, it's almost flower. It is a very gentle aroma. It's slightly sweet. Yeah, now the word flowery's got into my head. That's where I get it. And Kirsten, celebrating your love by buying a whiskey is an excellent choice. Celtic. Oh, well, this is another one of my shirts. I Should put the laptop back a bit further to show it off. It's the old-fashioned one. I might make an old-fashioned with this, actually. Come on. There we go. Got all the cocktail in the filter paper now. All right. So I'm just going to put my laptop back a bit. Sorry, just trying to sort some things out. Come on. That's it. All right. So if I move it back a bit, then I can show off the shirt a bit more. And bring that down a bit. There we go. The old-fashioned shirt. Oh, God, what's that doing? Why is that? It's got like a super long cord, but tangled. Oh, that's what's happening. Okay. Well, let's freaking get that off there. Then I can move my microphone over here. There we go. Probably put that down a bit far. There we go. That'll probably. But yes, got my old-fashioned big disincorporated hand holding an old-fashioned. Yes. Megalich, got to say the cavalcade of wanky words is like. Oh no, what's that? That's vanilla. There's definitely vanilla. No, I've given it a chance. There's definite vanilla coming off that. Yeah, it's floral. It's vanilla. I'm not really smelling wine like it was aged in. Is it Shiraz barrels? Apparently, the Octavius apparently a very upmarket Shiraz. I'm not getting a lot of wine aroma off it, which is interesting. It's very warm. Ooh, very warm. Yeah, my whole tongue and throat is really warm. Very butterscotchy. Ooh, yeah, even honey. Again, I'm not really getting wine notes from it, which is really surprising me. It's just this really deep butterscotch honey sweetness. Oof, it's good. It's good. And now I'm going to put a little bit of ice in there and see what flavors that opens up. Some people would just put water. I actually like to put whiskey on ice. I don't care at the wankers who say I shouldn't. Because how much did the mic cost, Safa? I do not remember. It's a Blue Yeti. What do Blue Yetis cost? Let's look it up, shall we? And it's probably just from Officeworks. I think I just got it from Office. Blue Yeti microphone. Was it 168 at JB? 159 at Harvey Norman, but fuck Harvey Norman. Not buying anything from them. Pieces of shit. I feel like I got it from Officeworks. There we go. Officeworks. Ooh, they're saying 127. Is that right? Is that this one? I'm looking at the picture. I think that's this one. Okay, I think this one, because I got it from Officeworks. I think it's $127 at Officeworks. There you go. It is. It is a decent what? It is a decent mic. It is absolutely a decent mic. It's not a super high-end mic, but it is good quality one. Hello, Annette. I'm tasting this. We were talking about you coming over for whiskey tastings. If you're really lucky, next time you visit, I won't have drunk all of this. Just been letting it open up a bit with some water. Ooh. I feel like that's brought the vanilla out in it. A little bit of dilution. Like it's warm, but it's not burning. It's like 48%. So, it's, 20% higher than average alcohol content. The weirdest thing is I'm not getting wine notes, not in the aroma, not in the taste. I am not getting wine notes, which is really surprising me. Miglic, if you come across an anti-masker, ask them why their lungs are weaker than a furry's. Yes, I did see some very good memes about the anti-maskers being weak compared to furries. Safa, I think Jerry Harvey's going to vote for Clive fucking Palmer at the next election. Jerry Harvey's such a piece of shit. I'm going to make an old-fashioned with this. Hot damn. This is smooth. Yeah, it's just, all I'm getting is like honey notes. Honey and vanilla. Which, that's a positive appraisal, by the way. That's not a negative. Getting honey and vanilla is a positive review. Oof. Smooth, baby. Yes, musical elevator. And this is the funniest thing. Anyone who would have voted for Clive Palmer last time is a fucking moron. But this time, again, because they've done those, you can't trust Labour or the Liberals. It's like, okay, anyone who falls for that this time is the biggest fuckwit, because Clive Palmer's just pulling a scam to try and get disaffected people who think, I don't like the Liberal Party, I'm not going to vote for them. I'll vote for Clive Palmer. And then Clive Palmer wins nothing and just funnels all the votes, preferences directly to the LNP. So yes, Music I've added, that's a good summary. Voting for Clive Palmer is voting for the LNP with extra steps. Oh, dude, Nettie, this is what I'm drinking. Starward, aged in Yalumba Octavius Barossa Shiraz barrels. And apparently it sat in the barrels for 3 years. I'm really surprised that I'm not getting wine notes. Not on the nose. Maybe that's where the floral things are coming from, the wine, because I kind of got this floral vibe from it. I thought there'd be really strong wine vibes from it. But I'm not getting it. I'm getting honey and vanilla, basically. An extremely pleasant drink. I'm trying to think. No, I should do an old fashioned. I want something really simple that shows off that. I was thinking of maybe a Manhattan, put some sweet vermouth in it. And I will almost definitely do that another time. Safa, who will vote for Kelly instead of One Nation, Pauline Hanson? I don't think Shit for Brains Kelly is the rock star that he thinks he is. I think he is going to disappear without a trace after this election, because he's just a horrible little man. They just suck so much. Music gave up in Broadmeadows. Clive Palmer has a big yellow sign says "Freedom, Freedom." Reminds you of Jimmy Reese making fun of CFMEU protesters. Yeah. Basically, Clive Palmer and everyone associated with him fucking sucks. Sucks big time. Right. I am just going to make a really simple old-fashioned in my glass. I'm not going to fuck around much. Going to do a decent whack of this. A little bit of my special sugar syrup. Where is it? Here's my special sugar syrup. Ooh, and I think I'll put a cherry in it too, just because I like cherries. That's an excuse to have a cherry. A little bit of the special sugar syrup. Ooh, yeah. Cinnamon and chai. So good. And 2 dashes of Angostura. And I need to get one of my skewers. I'll put a cherry in there. I'll use that to stir it, in fact. Hate everything about you. Who's getting boosters for the 5 months? With that, I just found my COVID thing. That means it's only 4 weeks until I can get a booster. And I tell you what, boy, I'm doing it. Get my booster in mid-January. All right. Cherry? God damn it. Stir, stir, stir. Alrighty. Yes, musical aid better. Apparently, getting a 3rd shot is a good idea for fighting off Lurg from Omicron Persei 8. It's how he's going to bring down humanity. Apparently, the 3rd shot's a good idea. Mrs. Angry, who's someone who would know, working in the health department, she says I should get Moderna. So I'm probably going to get Moderna. All right. So that's my old-fashioned made with Starwood. Oh, that's disturbingly easily drinkable. It's amazing. That is so easy to drink. It is very smooth. Very, very smooth. So after this, I think I'll drink some water. Because this could sneak up on you. Oof. Yeah, no, that is just that is just dangerously easy to drink. That's just a really simple old-fashioned. 2 ounces of the Starwood, a tiny bit of sugar syrup, and a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters. Oof, so good. I've got to stop saying oof. I sound like an idiot. But then again, I sound like an idiot most of the time. So what are you going to do? We'll see how I go for the rest of the stream. Like I said, I am definitely going to drink some water after this. After that, I may well make a Manhattan. I might make a Manhattan with that Starwood just to try it. So, Kirsten, batch 1 of the Octave series was better. Okay. But only people who work with Starwood have had it. There you go. Oh, I think I'm going to get, speaking of whiskies, I'm going to get the Tiny Bear single malt whiskey, which is available this week. Christ, I'm probably even going to get their other barrel-aged gin, because the barrel-aged Sailor is fucking amazing. And they've done a barrel-aged ginger gin. What's the box on the floor? That's the thing. There's a bag that came from Archie Rose that I think so. That's an ice cream maker. That box is for an ice cream maker that I bought during lockdown, and it's just got other stuff on it now. Safa, I am absolutely out of room for new bottles. I have to make a serious assessment. Yeah, Kirsten, I was even thinking of just driving out there. I emailed Damo and said, look, can I just drive out there, save postage? It's a half-hour drive. And because if I get it posted, it's going to take, I don't know, 4 weeks to get here. No fault of Tiny Bear. And in fact, I'm not even ragging on Australia Post for that, but it's going to take forever. So I may even just drive out to the Tiny Bear distillery this week because I joined their club, so I get a discount on bottles. So I might as well max that out. At this point, Safa, I'm resisting getting a third drink cart. But who knows what I might do in the post-Christmas sales, because those came from the post-Christmas sales like 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago that I bought them. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before. But time no longer has any meaning, so I'm not sure. But I think it was 2 years ago. I don't think it was this year. I think it was the year before. But who knows? Actually, I could test it by looking at old videos, but... actually... Oh, does that answer it? I think that answers it. Yes, it's 2 years ago. Nettie, you want me to get the Christmas gin? Do you want me to get a sample or a full-sized one, Nettie? Because I absolutely will get it for you. They're doing the... I bought... Where's it? Around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. It was just sitting here. There is the 3-pack sampler that has the summer gin, the Christmas gin, and the ginger gin. I possibly even prefer the summer gin. The summer gin is like a drier gin. Makes a really good martini. Oh, okay. I think in terms of the sample, you can own... So, okay, I'm going to look at the Tiny Bear side. Okay. I think you can only get a 3-pack of the samples. I'm going to double check. I'll double check while we're talking, in fact. Tiny Bear Distillery. Yes, I'm over 18. Hort, the doctor, the gypsy, the sailor. Of course, they've got a coffee one as well. Christmas Pud. Yes, so either a full-size bottle for $85 or... Oh, are they out of the sample ones? Let's see the sample ones. Come in for tasting. Okay. So a sample, 200 mils of the 3 Christmas ones for $85, or a full-size bottle of the Christmas Pud for $85. It will actually be slight. I get a discount. It'll be cheaper. I forget if it's 10% or more, but there's a discount because I joined their club. So it'll be cheaper than that. So do you want a full-sized bottle of the Christmas one, or it's the same price? Same price for a sample pack of the 3, or a full-size bottle of the Christmas one? I don't think you can buy a sample bottle alone. Kirsten, you're right. I might be able to get a sample one when I'm in the distillery. That might be possible. I've only been there once, so I'm not sure. So I know Safa, the discount, I paid for the discount. I joined a club. I paid money to join the club, and it comes with certain benefits. One of which is so it's to encourage you to buy more from them, because you get a discount when you buy things from them. And apparently they have special events sometimes, and I'll get an invite to the special events. So yes, Safa, normally a discount is the price of your information. In this case, I literally bought the discount. No, Safa, not like Dan's. Yeah, so Dan's, it's so they can market to you. And the Tiny Bear, it's to market to you, but it's also I paid for it. So Nettie, okay, let's go with order of preference. So if it's possible, okay, so sample packs your preference. If I can get just a single 200 ml bottle of the Christmas one, do you want me to get just that if it's possible? Or if it was possible to get just that and also the 3-pack, would you want me to get the single one or the 3-pack? bearing in mind, I don't know how much a single one will cost. I assume about $30, something like that. God, I made the mistake. I was buying some stuff from the Coles bottle shop the other day, and because they had some stuff on special that was good, and I bought a couple of things. And the guy said, "Do you have flybys?" And I pulled out my Dan Murphy's card, and I went, "Here's my Dan Murphy's card." And he goes, "Wrong shop." And I went, "Okay, yeah, sorry, brain not worky." Oh, okay. So if it's possible to get 200 mils on its own, get two. If that's not possible, get the sample pack. Okay. I have my instructions. I shall follow them. That's all good. All good in the hood. Even though there are troubles in the hood, but that's okay. Okay, I'm definitely drinking water next because I'm feeling this. Having a double of the whiskey. Oh my God, disturbingly easy to drink. So, Kirsten, what taste notes would you do for the Octave barrel? Because what I'm getting is like vanilla and honey. What were your things? Yes, thanks, Abigail. Said hello to people and me. It's nice to be included. You know what I'm going to do? It's weird and sweaty because it's been a warm day. I'm actually just going to briefly turn the aircon on. So excuse me for a sec while I do that. All right. I'm coming back now. But I was a sweaty boy. I was just feeling a little bit sweaty in here. I want to give the aircon a burst before going to bed. Ooh, nice. Kirsten, you get stewed peaches and vanilla. Okay, so we agree on, sweetness and vanilla. Okay. See, I don't know stewed peaches. So I was kind of clutching at butterscotch and honey. But I was really interested in how much it doesn't have wine notes. It's picked up color from the wine barrels because it's darker than a lot of other Starward whiskies, but it doesn't smell or taste of wine to me, which is surprising. But then again, a lot of Starwards are aged in wine barrels, so maybe I'm just used to that profile on Starward stuff that's been aged in wine barrels. Maybe someone who's used to, say, bourbons, which are aged in new barrels, would really pick up the wine notes, and I'm just not picking it up. I think that's possible. Short version, good. Very good. So it was a little bit pricey, but you know what? Fuck it. Actually, you know what this is making me think? I'm just going to go look at something. I'm just in a treat yourself mood. Whiskey gone on. Okay, no, that is actually a bit more expensive. Okay. Little bit rich for my brain. I'm actually expecting a delivery from Archie that I bought on the Black Friday sales. Again, not rushing because it's stuff I've got. It's kind of like they were doing 2-packs, and I think there's meant to be a little gift pack in with it. I don't know, but I've still got the bone dry gin. But it's like get a 2-pack of the bone dry and the signature dry, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, quality gins. Why not? Safra, it's a little bit humid here, honestly. Safra, does anyone else get kids Does anyone else's kids get weird when you use words like thirsty? I don't know. I'll try saying thirsty around my offspring and see what they do. My offspring, because when I joined the tiny the tiny bear club, the Den, besides getting a discount and things, I got a T-shirt, and the slogan on the back of the T-shirt is "Don't poke this bear." And I don't wear T-shirts anymore. I wear these shirts. So I got one in a size that is hopefully suitable for my son, and left it on his bed. And he just showed up today when he got here, and he came out and he went, "So why did you bestow on me that mildly homosexual themed shirt? Don't poke the bear." And I just thought you'd be into it. It's just like, you're like, okay. And I said it's to do with, the name of the distillery is Tiny Bear. But for all I know, the owner of Tiny Bear is a short, hairy homosexual, which would be where Tiny Bear comes from. Who knows? All things are possible in this world. Nice, Kirsten. Both you and husband have the "Don't Poke the Bear" shirts. And yes, Abigail. It was the first thing my Zoomer son came out and said. He didn't say it in a disapproving way. It's just like, "So I see you've given me a mildly homosexual shirt. What's that about?" I love it when people think like you're saying like that in a pejorative way. No, I'm just saying it in a descriptive way. It's like these really flamboyant shirts I've been getting over lockdown, and I've got like 30. I haven't counted them. There must be like 30 of them. I'll count them at some point. I've just done laundry. I'll hang them up and then I'll count them. I don't know. There's like 30 of them, and they are pretty gay, quite honestly. And I just mean that in a positive and descriptive way. Greg, good evening, sir. How are you? Okay, so Kirsten, Damo's happily married to Manda. And they have a baby bear. Well, that's cute. That is very cute. Gotta love that. Yeah, so Damo wasn't at the distillery when I was there. His sister was there. Lots of very happy, positive staff helping with the tastings. Got a little walkthrough of their stills, because they have cute little stills. They have little stills at Tiny Bear. It's kind of like they have little stills, and it's like Star would have pretty big stills, and Kirsten has shared photos with me. Archie Rose in Sydney has 3 fucking story high stills, just fucking huge stills. So the different distilleries around Australia fall into a couple categories: little stills, medium stills, and really fucking big stills. Yeah. I think even Patient Wolf has bigger stills than Tiny Bear. So Kirsten and Abigail and Nettie and myself visited Patient Wolf distillery in Melbourne, and then we went on to Starwood. And Starwood have much bigger stills than Patient Wolf. I think even Patient Wolf's stills are bigger than Tiny Bear's. Tiny Bear has cute little ones. But yeah, as I said, Kirsten shared me photos of Archie Rose. Friggin' enormous, like 3-story high stills. Fucking amazing stuff, quite honestly. I agree, Abigail. Married with kids, gay. Abigail actually did that when she was over at my place, and I was having a kiss and a cuddle with Mrs. Angry, and she just went, gay. Irony. I love irony. It's just good. All right. So this cherry should have soaked up a bit of flavor now. So now I'm going to eat it. Normally, with an old fashioned, my preferred garnish is some orange peel and expressing orange oils over it. But I don't have any oranges here, so I just went with a cherry because I really like the cherries. Abigail, 100% agree. It's not the size of your still that matters, it's what you do with it that counts. Okay, yes. So yeah, Kirsten, you agree. Patient Wolf does has bigger stills than Tiny Bear, but not by much. Yeah, so Patient Wolf has like 300 liter stills and Tiny Bear has 200 liter stills. Starwood has pretty friggin' big stills, but Archie Rose has really fucking big stills. Like, I think Starwoods are about 1.5 stories, their stills, and Archie Rose is like 3 stories. Fucking distillation is wild. Making booze is just wild. Rottweiler dude, hello. Have I seen Jackie Lambie telling off Pauline Hanson about Maxine Vander? Yes, I has. When she says, be a bloody adult. Oh, nice. Abigail, last Friday at Elysian with Nettie, got them to make a Snosbury Fizz. We should do some shit this Friday because I'm gonna work in the office on Friday. So we should do some shit, Abigail, either in your neighborhood or in the city. We'll talk about this offline. I think we'll talk about this offline because I'm going to be in the office in the city on Friday. We should do some shit. Okay, Kirsten. So Star Wars stills are 7,000 liters and 3,500 liters. Fuck me sideways. Honestly, the logistics of making this delicious booze that I drink really does. And Archie Roses are 3,200 liters and 32,000 liters and 21,000 liters. Oh, Safa, Friday, I'm going into work in public transport because I intend to maybe get fucked up on Friday. Christ, I might even go out for lunch. I might find a really fun place to go for lunch and have a couple of drinks at lunch. Fuck it, man. I might fucking write myself off on Friday. Next Friday night stream might be something to watch out for. Look out. 32,000 liter stills. Fuck me sideways. So, like, Jesus, 10 times the size of the small Starwood one. Jesus. I love the logistics of making all this delicious booze. All right, I need to drink some water. I absolutely need to drink some water. This is just going to take a while. You get like some peeing ASMR in the meantime. I could probably make money with that. I should monetize that. Peeing sounds for ASMR. But I absolutely need to just drink some water. Ugh. All right, Jesus. Woo! Okay, coming back. Abigail, you have some departure. I have some departure. I might shoot a very quick video when it gets fully dark, which is my lead-in video where I'm going to describe how I made the departure, how I made the. I've got the fucking pineapples has been steeping in. I'm going to taste it actually after I drink some water. The pineapple has been steeping in tequila for over a week, so that should be good. Wow! Oh my god, I love that, Kirsten. Oh, excuse me. At Archie Rose, you get a delivery of malt every 32 hours on average. So it's like 3 deliveries a week. God damn. And that's only if the deliveries just come Monday to Friday. Oh, I freaking love it. And also the fun thing, all the people Kirsten's told me about at all the independent distilleries, the number of people who are like the head distiller at different distilleries who have advanced science degrees. Like, A, it makes sense. B, I find it fucking hilarious. People went to uni, did an advanced science degree, and they went, you know what science? Booze. And they applied all their scientific knowledge to distillation. which is fucking wrong. So Abigail, you've got tepache, pineapple rum, soda, mango syrup. Oh my god, just all of that in a fucking glass for real. Oh my fucking god, that's a cocktail, Abigail. I would go if you have a big glass. I would go 100 mils tepache, 15 mils mango syrup, 60 mils pineapple rum, and top the glass with soda. And that would be a fucking killer drink. That would be a fucking killer drink. Hey, Bum Fungus on Twitch. It's not a new mic. It's just normally not in shot. I put the laptop further away from me than it normally is to show off the glory of my old-fashioned shirt. The disembodied hand holding an old-fashioned. So you can see my microphone quite clearly. It's a Blue Yeti, and it's usually not in shot, but it's just because I put the laptop further away than normal because I wanted to show off my shirt because it's a nice shirt. It's one of 20 nice shirts I bought during lockdown. Okay, sorry, Abigail. Proportions, write down. I would say get a tall glass, and I would say 100 mils tepache, 60 mils pineapple rum, 15 mils mango syrup, and then just top it with soda. Oh, Kirsten, yes, Kirsten hit the nail on the head. Abigail, if you have lime juice or at a pinch lemon juice, 15 to 30 mils of citrus juice would be a nice balance in there. But it'll be fine without it. But I absolutely agree with Kirsten. If you had any lime juice on hand, 15 to 30 mils of lime juice would be very Italian. Got to do the Italian hand. Be perfect. Don't have any. That's okay. I reckon it's going to be really good without lime juice, Abigail. Just throwing it out there. Second thing I'd say is you can get you get all these people who poo-poo bottled citrus from supermarkets, but fuck them. You can get a little bottle of lime juice from the supermarket for $1, and it's really good to have on hand. For a fucking $1, it's fine. But yeah, even without lime juice, I think that's going to be a good drink. Like 100 mils tepache, 60 mils pineapple rum, 15 mils mango syrup, and just top it with soda. I think that's going to be a really nice drink. The thing I'm going to make is going to be, I'm going to get a 750 ml bottle. I think I'm going to do 400 mils pineapple tequila, 100 mils tepache, 100 mils limoncello, and 100 mils sugar syrup. Maybe I'll do 450 mils. Maybe because it's going to be a 750 ml bottle, so I might do 450 mils pineapple tequila, 100 mils tepache, 100 mils limoncello, and 100 mils sugar syrup. And that's going to be my fruity sugar syrup. Like I did an oleosaccharum sugar syrup. And that's going to be a margarita liqueur, a winter margarita liqueur. I might actually mix up the sugar syrups and put a little bit of my cinnamon chai syrup in there as well to get Christmassy type flavors in there. And I'm going to shoot a little video tonight where I talk about that. And then I'm going to put it together and and then on Tuesday night, I'll do a taste test, because most people who make these things say after you mix everything together, you should let it sit for at least a day or two for everything to really integrate and get the final thing, and then do a taste test. So I think I'll shoot a short video tonight talking about what the components are. And then on Tuesday night, I'll do a tasting. And because that's the thing, then it's going to be great. I've made it to just drink straight. It should be very good to drink straight. But you could put a bit of fresh lime juice with it and shake it just before serving it to brighten it up. Or as Abigail and I drank a lot of the previous one on Halloween, I think this thing with soda would be very good as well. So there's a few ways you could drink it, I think. So that's what I'll be looking at. And I did today, I did get some bubbly cider with a cork to pop at midnight on New Year's Eve. I'm going to do a New Year's Eve stream. I was tempted to get the ham cider again because I went into the bottle shop that I know has ciders with corks, bubbly ciders, so I could pop it on New Year's Eve. Again, for people who don't know the folklore of this stream, the only reason the cider I opened last New Year's Eve tasted like ham is because it was 5 or 6 years old, and you should not keep cider for that long. And it's a wonder we didn't all get sick when we drank ham cider. But yes, the ham cider was a French cider, and I was at Blackheart and Sparrows, and they had some, and I almost got that, but then they had some very nice sounding Tasmanian cider, and I'm like, fuck it, Tasmanian cider is going to be better than French cider anyway. And also, ham cider. I have bad psychic associations with this French cider because it literally tasted like ham. Not good. I'm just saying, just not good. Ham cider, not great. So, yes. So I've got something with a cork to pop at midnight on New Year's Eve. So looking forward to that. In Christ, that's only just over 2 weeks away. Fuck me sideways. Christmas is 2 weeks away. And then so what day of the week is New Year's again? No, show me the whole fucking calendar. What the fuck is wrong with you, Windows? Oh, okay. New Year's Eve is a Friday night. Fucking excellent for parties. Okay, great. So 2 weeks from today is Boxing Day. Saturday is Christmas Day. And the 31st is New Year's Eve. It's a good night for a party. Suffer will see ham cider cameo. I know. I absolutely fucking tipped out the ham cider. Came to the realization the ham cider may have actually been dangerous. So, but by some miracle, none of us got sick from the ham cider. So it just didn't taste good. But I've got a really nice quality Tasmanian bubbly cider with a cork to pop at midnight on New Year's Eve. So looking forward to that. And who the fuck knows what's going to happen? Going to try like the last couple of years because, and I don't know whether or not Stella will be able to join us, but Stella was there for the last 2 New Year's Eves. So we stayed up till 3 a.m. my time because that was midnight in Western Australia. So we got to see New Year's Eve for all of Australia. We'll see what happens. I don't try to predict the future. Oh no, bum fungus. Ham cider was bad, man. Ham cider was bad. This was last New Year's Eve. We opened this French cider that I kept forgetting to open on New Year's Eve, and I'd probably had it for 5 years. And you should not keep cider for that long. And so I finally popped the cork last New Year's Eve, and then we drank it and went, this tastes like ham. What's wrong with this cider? Why does it taste like ham? And it's probably because it was poisonous. Kirsten, it's Willie Smith's. Let me go. I'll show you the bottle because I got it sitting in the fridge. They had a couple of Willie Smith ciders. This one was the one I chose. Kingston Black Heritage Apple release. So it's only 7% alcohol. So it's like wine level alcohol, cider level alcohol. Store it cold. So they describe it as possibly one of the most well-known, highly regarded British cider apples, due to its ability to make well-balanced single variety ciders. With sharp acidity, fine tannins, complex fruit flavors, this highly aromatic apple variety is also one of the few cider apples, also offers pleasure when eaten fresh. Lifted aroma of blossoms, sherbet, and crisp, fresh apples, fine boned in structure, the balance of acid, tannins, and fruit sweetness makes Kingston Black a unique apple, all present, but perhaps not completely correct. So this is a single apple variety cider. So that's getting cracked midnight, New Year's Eve. I thought it looked pretty good myself. It's at 9 o'clock. I think I'm going to drink more water. Like I was talking about maybe making a Manhattan, and I may still do that. I think I might drink more water in the meantime, though. Safa, is $32 expensive for champagne? If it's actual French champagne from the Champagne region, that's quite cheap. I've got to be honest, I would probably, if you wanted a sparkling wine for New Year's Eve for midnight, champagne, that's just hype and marketing. I would research a quality Australian sparkling wine. I'm not a wine person, so I don't know. That's why I got cider, because I don't like wine. And so does Melbourne have better fireworks than Sydney? No, I think Sydney has better fireworks. But I also think fireworks are kind of nasty anyway. But I think Sydney. The Sydney Harbour is just among the world's absolute best settings for fireworks. You just can't. You cannot deny that. I know there's a lot of Sydney-Melbourne rivalry, and I have no interest in living in Sydney. Like, I could win $50 million in lotto tomorrow. I would not move to Sydney. I would stay in Melbourne. I'd probably buy somewhere really nice to live, but I'd stay in Melbourne. But for the simple question, who has the better fireworks? Sydney has the better fireworks because the harbour's a better setting for it. Safi, you got some Aldi champagne. Aldi has quite good products, basically, in really simple terms. Aldi has good products. So I think an Aldi champagne for 30 odd bucks is probably good quality. But I'm saying this as someone who doesn't really like champagne. So, know what my opinion's worth on that topic. And I'm just, as I said, I'm very parochial. I'd probably recommend, I would recommend looking into a quality Australian sparkling wine with a cork that you could pop on New Year's Eve. But you do you, man. You do you. Don't let me push you around. I'm going to get some ice. I'm going to drink a bit more water. Even though the water's cold because it's in a reservoir in the fridge, I just like having a bit of ice. So I'm going to get a bit of ice and get a bit more water. And this is not the quickest pouring water. Doing a bit more peeing ASMR, for which I'm sure there is a market. All right. Water, water everywhere. Nice. Abigail, the cocktail worked. I thought it would. Nice. Yeah, no, Greg, you're absolutely right. Aldi wines often win awards. Aldi brand spirits are usually pretty good as well. Safa, my bet would be the Lobster Mobster will get fucking wiped out at the next election. But predictions aren't worth shit. So my prediction could be completely wrong. But as you asked, yeah, I think he's going to get fucking wiped out. Let's see if I can get these lights to work because they were acting really fucking weird the other night. I like having the lights on for videos. Ugh, come on. Look, everything's tangled up. What the fuck's going on? Oh, I see. I see what the problem is. All right. This one and this one. And then these ones are all tangled up. And we've got to untangle them. Why are they all tangled up? Tangle angles. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. Where's the peg? I bring this over here. Yep, okay. And I put this in here. And do that. Now, I've got my phone, because the other ones are controlled by a phone app. Whew. Okay, phone app. Connect. On. No, okay, I think the thing that made it come on was a timer. Fuck this fucking app, honestly. So it might come on in 10 minutes. We'll see, because it took me by surprise when it came on. All right, I'll friggin' leave this here. Safa, I don't think the WA election results will be replicated anywhere else. But I would get a really good laugh if the Andrews government actually increased their majority at the next election. An equal win would be if some independents took seats from the Libs, so that the Andrews government majority didn't actually increase, but the number of LNP seats decreased because there were more independents. That would also be something I would laugh about and applaud. So, all right, I'm going to change the timing on this just a sec to 10. Save. Okay. Going to see if mysteriously the extra lights come on in 5 minutes. I'll suffer. Country people are fucked over by the National Party. The National Party works for mining companies, not for country people. The National Party are fucking garbage. And that is why conservative independents are making significant inroads in regional seats, because people are going, wait a minute, the National Party are just stooges for the Liberal Party and mining companies. They literally fuck over farmers and rural communities. They push shit that hurts people in rural areas because they're garbage. So that's why conservative independents have been making quite some inroads in country seats. And again, the conservative independents, I probably completely disagree with on almost anything, but it's funny if they take seats away from the Nationals. Because the Nationals are fucking garbage. Worse, absolutely worse than the Liberal Party. They are definitely worse than the Liberal Party. They fucking suck. Yes, they deserve to get their lunches eaten by independents because they just sell out their fucking constituency so much. They're just shit, man. They're just shit. So, okay, in the theory that these lights I want come on in the next 5 minutes, because they did on Friday night, which completely fucking surprised me. The app's just being super fucking weird, but who knows? Could decide the final makeup of my margarita liqueur, which I think for a 750ml bottle, I think 450 mils tequila, 100 mils de parche, so that's 550 mils, 100 mils limoncello or limecello, I should say, 650, and then 100 mils sugar syrup, which I might split between the fruity sugar syrup and the cinnamon chai syrup, and that's 750 mils. And if it needs to be topped off, I might top it off with departure, actually. What do I think about the shooters party? I think the first dude who got elected to the Victorian Senate for the shooters party, Ricky, what's his name? I think he kind of seemed okay. I have a strong suspicion because you got all these people who think they're going to get some political clout. Again, the shooters, fishers, farmers party. I have a very strong suspicion I would disagree with them about almost everything. But I was very interested by that first guy who got a Senate seat in Victoria. I know he seemed kind of decent. And there's the first spam bot for the evening. Saddest spam bots ever, because they ain't never going to achieve anything by putting that sad fucking spam on my live stream chat. It's very weird. It's the worst spam bots I've ever seen, as in just most ineffective, just seriously ineffective spam bots. And YouTube will eventually identify them and preemptively block their comments. It usually just takes them a while. YouTube needs a couple thousand reports to do it. So for how awesome is the Reason Party? I like the Reason Party. I don't agree with them on everything, but I do like them. They used to be the Sex Party. And then they actually started to make some electoral inroads, and they thought, oh, we need to change to a more marketable name. So they became the Reason Party, which is a little bit sad, honestly. A little bit sad. Lost something by not being the Sex Party anymore. But I understand why they did it. Absolutely understand why they did it. Just a little bit slightly disappointing. But c'est la vie, as the saying goes. So what are you gonna do? I don't understand this fucking light app at all. It's not working, is it? No, it's not working. So it's like, yep. It just doesn't fucking work. It's weird how it just doesn't fucking work. Have they done any updates to their shitty fucking app? Let me see. What's trying to update in the App Store? Ooh, a lot of things. I should have checked more recently. I'm trying to see if this particular fucking app is doing it. A lot of apps I don't use that I should probably delete, quite honestly. Nope. No. They're not updating it. Okay, fine. Fine. Fucking, it's just, it is super weird how this app worked the first time I used it, and maybe the second time, and then it just fucking stopped. It just abso-fucking-lutely stopped. And it's such a piece of shit. I should fucking go on the App Store and say, this is a pile of shit. Because it's a pile of shit. Actually, now I'll go. I should actually look in the App Store. What's it fucking called again? Okay. See if I can find it on the App Store and put a review that says, this is fucking shit. All right, here we go. Weird. So it's actually got... It's got good reviews. Maybe I should find like a Facebook group. I'm super shit at getting customer support. But anyway. Safa, does Apple ban swear words? In the reviews, probably. They should. They should too. I don't really have time for people who like, I'm upset that YouTube got rid of the dislike button. It's going, why do you have to be so fucking negative? Why do you want to leave abusive comments? Maybe just don't do that. Crazy talk, I know that when the crazy talk is don't be that negative. But that's the crazy talk I go with. Just try not being negative. Is that so hard? Cocktails. All right. All righty, roo. Now I just feel like I've been drinking water for a while. I'm allowed to drink a Manhattan now. Hey Justin, how's it going? Mega Leech, I have not found a way to reset lights to factory settings. Weirdly, they caught me by surprise and just started working the other night after I swore at them. And this help thing goes, oh, I'm sure that it's like the connectivity's not working. But when I check the connectivity, it goes, oh no, you've got a great location. You've got a great connection. It's just they were working one time and then didn't, and then they weirdly started working the other night, caught me completely by surprise. But the app seriously just does not fucking work. It's absolutely surreal. What's the time now? Christ, 9:19. I don't know. There's not a lot I can do. There is not a lot I can do besides enjoy a Manhattan made with my new whiskey. Why not? Why not indeed? I'll just get a nice glass to drink it out of because I'm a classy motherfucker. Oh. But I'm just going to mix it in this glass with ice because I'm pragmatic. I'm a riddle wrapped in an enigma. Where's my sweet vermouth? Unico Yuzo, which I like. Really like this as a sweet vermouth. I was talking about this online, and someone who worked in the bar said, "Yeah, I made a drink. I forget which drink it was. It's probably a Manhattan. Used that, and the customer said it tasted weird. And I went, well, don't know what your customer problem." And I restrained myself from saying, "I don't know. Maybe your customers are fucking idiots," because I really like that. But who knows what's going on in this world? All right. Big whiskey energy tonight. Okay, so it's time to light the music. I don't know why when I'm doing something, it's time to get things started. Muppet Show theme always pops into my head. Justin, you're driving from Canberra to Queensland next Saturday, then down to Melbourne for New Year's, then back to Canberra. That does sound crazy, man. I don't like to be judgmental. Sounds a bit crazy. Ooh, a little bit of cork ASMR for you there. Okay, Sweet Vermouth. Man, this is like the reddest sweet vermouth there is, so it makes a really red drink. And just a dash of bitters. All right. Stir that with my finger. There you get ice ASMR. Clinking ice. Oh God, Mimsy's out there making awful noises. Romeo, hello. Romeo's on Twitch for those who wonder who I'm talking to. Just chilling down my Manhattan. It's probably like, this is such a bogan way to do it. But then again, I'm pretty bogan. Oh, fuck. I made a mess. Fuck. What's worse is I wasted some of my drink. Minor tragedy. All right. It's okay. Wait, what do they say to do as a... Oh, yes. I thought so. They say you should do a cherry as a garnish. Excuse to have another cherry. Yeah, boy. Let's get some of that cherry action happening. There we go. It's a beautiful color. All right. So there is my Manhattan with my new whiskey. Romejo, I am well, thank you. I am in Melbourne, Australia on a Sunday evening. Justin, you're taking the main roads on your trek this year rather than back roads like last year. All right. That's good. Yeah, that's good. I might even try at some point a boulevardière, but made with the gospel bitter orange amaro that I just got, which is nice and light. Ah, Remajo, yes, it's you from Vietnam. Yes, sorry, my friend. I did need your reminder, I have to admit. But yes, how are things in your world? I hope things are going well for you. Justin, you're going to fill up at Costco. Is Costco that much cheaper? Because I'm a Costco member, and when I've gone there to their petrol thing, it didn't seem that much cheaper than if you know the right suburban petrol station to go to. But also, I don't do it a lot. So if you've done a bunch of comparisons, I would defer to your experience on the matter. Oh, yes, had to use backroads last year to avoid Sydney. Yes, that makes perfect sense. But now we're a bit more open, so you can take the major roads. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Haven't we just had the strangest couple of fucking years? And we still don't know what next year is going to be. We don't know if next year is going to be things under control or things are going to get out of control for different reasons. We just don't fucking know. Right. Oh, goodness. Okay. Thanks, you remember. Doing better. Finally, your job application's been accepted in Thailand. Nice. So you're joining your trans friend in Thailand. Nice. Oh, well, okay. That fills me with joy that things are good at the moment. And I don't want to jinx anything for any of us, but may 2022 be your year. Just sending out all the vibes for things to go well for you and your friend in 2022. For everyone, really, but who fucking knows? The world's weird. Trying to predict the future. No. I mean, things might be fine, relatively. I hope for things to be fine, relatively. But I don't predict things will be fine because prediction is a mug's game. That's all I can say. Prediction is a mug's game because there's too much weird shit in the world. It's impossible to predict what's going to happen. So yeah, Justin, that's the fun thing. It's not just variants of SARS-CoV-2 we have to worry about. A completely new and dangerous virus could pop out. Like, we were seriously overdue for this pandemic. It's in some ways it's almost a relief that it's finally happening. And honestly, for all the problems, we've dealt with it comparatively well. For all the idiots in the world who want to see conspiracies behind everything, we've dealt with it comparatively well. Certainly not flawlessly, and there are a whole bunch of problems, most notably the disadvantaged countries not having access to vaccines, which hopefully gets better in 2022, because COVID running amok anywhere is just a recipe for more variants, more mutations, and there's always a risk a new mutation is vaccine resistant and or causes more serious illness. We still don't know that about Omicron. We don't really have enough data to be sure about Omicron. There's evidence it might be very contagious. But we don't know that yet. We can maintain some positivity, but the risk is always going to be there that there will be a new variant that's either vaccine resistant or causes more serious illness, or both. And Megaleech, I agree with you. Without COVID-19, I think Trump would have absolutely crushed Joe Biden. But Trump managed the COVID response so badly, while his loony fan base didn't care, that thankfully the majority of Americans who were rational could see, wow, Trump's actually a pretty significant fuck up, isn't he? We need to put some effort into voting him out of office. But I thoroughly believe without COVID-19, Trump would have absolutely crushed Biden in an election, just wiped the floor with him. But Trump seriously exposed himself to be a complete fucking idiot and completely clueless, and only that fucking lunatic rusted on followers still revered him, and enough of the population went, no, it's actually a pretty serious issue. We need to vote this fucking goon out of office. Justin, don't put too much credence in those weird stories that floated around about Republicans want to make Trump Speaker of the House if they win midterms. Speaker of the House actually has to be a member of the House. So Trump would have to be elected to represent an area. Now, admittedly, if Trump actually ran for Congress, he would probably get elected. He probably would, because people are fucking weird. But he'd have to run for Congress, which is a major step down for his ego. All right, Justin. On the surface, I expect you to know more about the US system than me. I'm just going to look it up. Does the Speaker of the House have to be a member of Congress? The Constitution does not require the Speaker to be an incumbent member of the House of. Okay, that's interesting. The Constitution does not require the Speaker to be an incumbent member of the House of Representatives, although every Speaker thus far has been. So the Speaker is second in the United States presidential line of succession after the Vice President, ahead of the President pro tempore of the Senate. There you go. The Republicans would have to win extremely big in the midterms to do that. Megaleech, it would be extremely unusual for someone with Trump's ego to run for a lesser office. And man, Speaker of the House has to fucking work. Speaker of the House has to show up and be there. Trump would absolutely fucking hate to be Speaker of the House. Trump would fucking hate to be Speaker of the House. Honestly, he fucking hated being president, apart from being able to have rallies and have a bunch of absolute fucking morons cheer him on. But he clearly fucking hated being president. Trump would not want to be Speaker of the House. No way. That is way, way, way more work than Trump would want. I'm just going out on a limb here, but I don't even think Trump is going to run for president again, because he doesn't want the ego bruising of losing another election. I think Trump will want to tell people he might run for president to get money from them, because I think the only person who holds Trump voters in more contempt than me is Trump. Trump thinks the people who voted for him are fucking morons. Justin, you think Trump being Speaker would be chaos, would guarantee Biden's re-election? Mayhap, but I am completely convinced Trump would absolutely hate the role of Speaker of the House. So I think, and I have seen the same stories actually, Justin. I've seen the same things with people saying, "Oh, Trump could be Speaker of the." No, Trump would fucking hate being Speaker of the House. Way too much work. And yeah, Safa, Trump definitely did not want to be president. Trump just wanted a platform to promote himself. When you look at how Trump looked at his election night party, I have never seen anyone who won a presidential election look as depressed as Trump looked on that night. It was fucking weird. And Melania just looked like she hated the fucking world. So yeah. Was that music way better? The only thing bigger than Trump's ego is Trump's stupidity. As a narcissist, he's liable to believe his own lies. Yeah, no, but he would not want to be Speaker of the House. First, because it's a step down from president. Second, because it's work. Trump doesn't do work. Trump doesn't want work. Again, okay, huge asterisk on everything I'm saying. I don't know a goddamn thing. The world is weird. Shit that makes no sense happens all the time. So if Trump ends up being Speaker of the House after the midterm elections, that's just evidence I know nothing and the world is fucked up and weird. Freely admit that you should not believe any. I'm not making a prediction. Like, I'm going to say Trump does want to be Speaker of the House, but I'm not predicting he never will be, because that's a mug's game. Trying to predict what happens in this just chaotic, fucked up world, it's a mug's game. Trying to predict what happens is it's a path to insanity, quite honestly. Yes, Abigail, we I don't know if we're living in the darkest timeline, but we're living in the stupidest timeline. If I remember rightly, that line, "This is the darkest timeline," is from one of the DC TV shows when they brought in a multiverse thing and they identified the darkest timeline. I don't know if we're in the darkest timeline, but we are definitely in the stupidest timeline. Our timeline is fucked. Our timeline is fucked and makes no sense whatsoever. Oh, it's the darkest timeline from Community. Thank you, Abigail, for clarifying that for me. Because I know the DC TV shows had a multiverse thing going on and different timelines and whatnot, which is why I thought that was from one of the DC TV shows, because they had multiple timelines and multiverse shit going. And now the Marvel universe is bringing in the multiverse with the next Spider-Man movie, which they're trying to keep secret, but kind of looks like it's going to have both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield appear as Spider-Man from different multiverses, which would be kind of fun. That would be kind of fun, because it's already got the villains. It's got the villains from the other Spider-Man multiverses, Dr. Octopus and the Green Goblin and Electro and the Sand Guy. And yes, you're right, Abigail, Marvel's always had multiple universes. And in fact, the What If animated series, which some people poo-pooed, but I quite enjoyed, the animated What If series of Marvel, I quite enjoyed, and that was very multiverse oriented. Music Better. Ryan George did a video parody of game show This Is the Dumbest Timeline, where alternate universes would interview someone from a random timeline. Of course, the dumbest one had COVID and Trump. See, one of my favorite comics from way back in the 90s was The Sandman, written by Neil Gaiman, who since the 90s became a best-selling author, very revered. And he's older than me, so when I first got into his shit in the 90s, he was still a maverick. Now he's an elder statesman of literature. But with the Sandman comics, there was a really good storyline where these people it was basically Neil Gaiman's version of the restaurant at the end of the universe, which was Hitchhiker as a Guide to the Galaxy thing. It was this inn where people from different timelines ended up in the same place, and they swapped stories. It was his version of the Canterbury Tales, essentially. But there's one guy, this guy who came from an Earth like ours, and he ended up in this place, and he's in the toilet and he's taking a piss, and there's this guy from a different reality who's with him, and he's saying like, okay, so you're Earth, who's president when you are? And he's like, Clinton. And he's like, okay, so who was things? So in the 60s, when JFK, Johnson, Nixon, who was president after that? And he said, Reagan. Oh my God, you're from one of those timelines. Oh my God. Which I just love. I love the idea of a multiverse traveler going through various multiverses and ending up in ours and going, okay, so your presidents, okay, so it was Bush, then Clinton, then Bush, then Obama. Who was after Obama? Trump. Oh my fucking God. You're in the Trump multiverse. Fuck. Holy shit. Oh my God. I feel so sorry for you. and, but this one in the Sandman comic, the multiverse thing, there was a comic from the 70s called Prez, where a teenager got elected president of the United States, and this person from who traveled the multiverses talking to someone from essentially our universe, like, oh, you never got Prez, Rickard. And he explained the whole thing with Prez, the teenage president, and it was a fun story. But yeah, I just imagine multiverse travelers ending up where we are, going, okay, so it was Nixon and Carter and Reagan and Bush and Clinton and Bush and Obama. Who's after Obama? And then you say Trump, and they go, oh fucking hell. Okay, I've got to hit the button on the dimension jump because I don't want to be here. The Trump multiverses are just fucked. So there we go. What was great? You used to read the What If comics, and oh yes, the What the comics. Again, for those who aren't particularly familiar with Marvel, the What If comics, and these were turned into an animated series on Disney Plus. What If what if a fundamental thing from the Marvel universe happened differently, and so it's exploring an alternate reality, a different timeline. It's fun. The What the comics were the ones where they just got silly, and they were very funny. The What the Universe comics were very funny because they just fucked with stuff, and the What the comics were kind of like Marvel meets Mad Magazine. They were very silly. They were great. Safa, I agree. Star Wars What If stuff would be great. Hello, Kirsten. Welcome back. I'm glad you're back. Megalich, you reckon you want to know if he was 1 or 2 term? Never mind. You'd be dead if it was the 2-term ones. Yeah, maybe. I just finished William Gibson's most recent novel, Agency. And there's a trilogy of novels that involve people who have discovered, and these people are about 100 years in our future. And shit went south pretty much exactly like we expect shit to go south. They call it the jackpot. It's where multiple really fucked things all came up at once. Like a jackpot on slot machines where it goes 1, 2, 3. 3 very unlikely things come up at once. You get a jackpot. In this world, 3 cataclysmic events all happened at once, which killed 90% of the planet's biodiversity and 80% of the human population. And the society that exists has reverted to totalitarian, almost sort of royalty system. They call the kleptocracy, because the people who were best placed to take advantage of this fucked up world were the robber barons, the 1%, particularly Russian robber barons. And so it became a kleptocracy. But what they discovered were these computer programs, and they don't know who made them, but it's like alternate timelines in a computer world, and you can interact with them, and they're basically real. And it's a weird sort of mess with your head concept. I thoroughly recommend any and all William Gibson books to everyone, way back to like the Necromancer book and the original Cyberpunk trilogy from the 80s. But all of his books he's written since. William Gibson may well be my favorite author. He's great, but he messes with your head and really explores ideas in a very interesting way. And his most recent trilogy very much does it. This whole idea of these computer worlds, which may actually be real, is very interesting. And in the most recent one, Agency, the computer world that the people 100 years in the future are investigating, is one where Trump didn't win. Hillary Clinton won the election, but weird shit happened with tensions with Russia, and this world is racing towards a cataclysmic nuclear World War III. And so the people from the future are trying to help the people in this computer world not get annihilated in a nuclear war. It's very interesting. And yeah, this particular world is more or less contemporaneous with us, except Trump didn't win the election, Clinton did. And it's interesting. It's very cool. So Justin, you think the next big world-changing event will be China invading Taiwan and nuclear war? Nuclear war would certainly be a world-changing event, and I hope it doesn't happen. But cheers to you, millennials and Zoomers, if shit escalates with China and you get to have the same fucking nightmares me and the rest of Gen X had in the 80s, where we thought America and Russia were going to engage in nuclear war. And of course, a nuclear war means, without doubt, completely without doubt, the annihilation of everything we consider as life. It means the absolute collapse of human civilization. And if anyone at all survives, and it's questionable if anyone at all survives a nuclear war, but if anyone at all survives a nuclear war, the best case scenario is a reversion to feudalism, pre-industrial revolution, possibly even pre-enlightenment. Unfortunately, a more likely scenario is the actual extinction of the human race, and then a different evolutionary path for the organisms that survive that happen over the next couple of million years. So, Megalith, you think you'd be safe from Tassie? Who would waste one ass? Yeah, it's a question of the fallout, man. It's the question of the fallout. It's like the movie from the 50s or 60s that has some people in Melbourne waiting for the fallout from the nuclear war to reach them. Forget what that's called. Abigail, you're making a reference. Sorry, excuse me. Cherry juice. You're making a reference. How to rebuild civilization, modern post-industrial technology. I think if there was a nuclear exchange, the best case scenario is the level of destruction would revert any surviving any surviving humans to a pre-industrial revolution level of feudalism, and as I said, possibly even like a pre-enlightenment, possibly like a 1000 AD level feudal society. More likely is actually the extinction of human life and the start of a new evolution cycle that would take 1,000,000 or so years to have a new dominant life form on the earth. But that's the Gen X in me talking. That's the Gen X in me talking. Abigail, that's for your own sanity. You survive, make your way to your brother's farm, start a community there. I think, yeah. I mean, it's so hard to know, like being Gen X, having gone through the 80s, spending most of the 80s thinking, I don't even know if I'll live to see 30 if these fuckwits are actually going to launch nuclear weapons, because it fucking seems like it. Didn't happen. Still could happen. Who knows? So if we were unfortunate enough to have assholes in positions of power start lobbing nuclear weapons, I think the best case scenario is the survivors reverting to pre-industrial revolution feudalism, which means farming and shit like that. Yes, but it's not great. It's not a great scenario. So yeah, not a fan of not a fan of the Chinese regime. I always think it's important to differentiate between the pieces of shit in power and the people who live in the area that's controlled by the pieces of shit in power. And that's whether we're talking about Australia, America, China, Russia, anywhere. Yeah, but not a fan of the Chinese Communist Party and their regime. But the idea of leaping straight from not a fan of those people to let's start a nuclear exchange that would result in a conflagration that would at minimum kill 90% of the humans on the planet and absolutely result in the complete collapse of what we regard as human civilization. Wow, what the fuck are we doing talking about depressing shit like this? It's because I'm Gen X. This is all because I'm Gen X. I'm just fucking reliving the 80s. When you start asking me about things like, oh, will there be a nuclear war with China? I just fucking relive the 80s, quite honestly. Where, I just remember someone, I was going to say, someone I was in a relationship with. It wasn't really a relationship. We were fucking. But I was just like, I'm not making, and I was early 20s. I was definitely early 20s. And she was older. I think she was using me as a boy toy, which I was super fucking okay with. Honestly, a woman in her 30s or 40s using me in my early 20s for sexual gratification. I was completely on board with that. But when she was talking about the future, and I was going like I'm not making any plans for the future before I'm 30 because I'm not convinced the world's going to still be here for that long. If we're all still here when I'm 30, then I'll feel like things have stabilized a bit. And she thought I was a bit silly, and I'm going, am I? In retrospect, I was obviously wrong. But I don't think it was unreasonable of me to go, I don't know, things seem all kinds of fucked. And I'm not that keen to make long-term plans until I reach about 30. Because I'm not absolutely convinced I'll reach 30, quite honestly. That was what it felt like growing up in the 80s. Here we go. You want to be like people on Alcatraz at the end of the movie Book of Eli. There were historians and librarians. Yeah, not a bad one. But yeah, it's a big question. Like, if there's a cataclysmic collapse, how do you preserve knowledge? Can you preserve knowledge? Because obviously we've become overly dependent on digital storage of information. And if there was a societal collapse, we would, in all probability, lose absolutely everything that's stored digitally. Not necessarily, but very probably. So it'd be a question of plundering the libraries to save the knowledge. The big libraries, the state libraries, the university libraries, grab the books that have the fundamental knowledge in them and preserve them. It would be an interesting challenge. But, Justin, I'm a big believer if you're uncertain about your future, you should have a bunch of non-procreative sex. So, yes, with this particular woman, there's a lot of sex, was definitely non-procreative. But yeah, I think that's a good strategy. I think it's a good political ideology, quite honestly. If you're uncertain about the future, just have a lot of sex, and if you have good sex, you'll feel better about the here and now, and you'll feel less stressed about the future, because the future is very stressful. So we don't want too much of that. But yes, if there's any cataclysmic events, an important thing to do will be to preserve the libraries, find the hard copy, find the books that have the fundamental knowledge, stuff that we ideally wouldn't have to learn from scratch again. Store it all, so then when stuff starts to improve, people can go, "What's in this book? Wow, that's how shit works." Okay, to give us a leg up to basically be able to restart an industrial and potentially computer revolution when people get their shit together a bit. So that would be the challenge. So another question we used to ask ourselves in the 80s, Gen X, because we're all very fatalistic and whatnot, the big question was, would the survivors envy the dead? Because particularly surviving a nuclear exchange could be super fucked. Could be very, 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 very bad. A quick death could very much feel like a mercy compared to living through a nuclear wasteland. But who knows? Maybe you want the holy books to disappear. Yeah, I think I don't know which atheist said it first, but they said if something happened so that we lost all the religious texts and all scientific texts today, and people started from scratch, in 1,000 years, there'd be a whole new bunch of religious texts that were completely unrelated to the previous religious texts, but there would be a whole bunch of new scientific texts which discovered the same things that the previous scientific texts discovered. The science is going to be the same. The theology is going to be different. And that's just how humans work. Hello, Nug. How's it going? Suffer, why does Scummo like nukes? Because he's a piece of fucking shit. Oh, yes. Justin, I'm all about the consensual sex. It's a huge stress reliever. It's a wonderful stress reliever. There we go. You use the Silmarillion as a holy book. There are worse ones. There are worse holy books than the Silmarillion, quite honestly. I have not actually read any Tolkien in ages, probably decades. I used to read The Lord of the Rings almost every year, and I would reread the Silmarillion occasionally. I just feel like I should reread it, or even maybe just use an audiobook. Who does the audiobooks for The Lord of the Rings? I'm just going to look this up because I've got a fucking Audible subscription. I'm just going to look it up. Okay, first, Lord of the Rings. Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien, narrated by Rob Inglis. I think he's a good narrator. Complete unabridged. Okay. The Two Towers. Oh, Andy Serkis. That's an interesting one. He's good at voices. Return of the King by Rob Inglis. Two Towers by Rob Inglis. So there must be one version when there's a dramatized one. Ian Holm, Michael Hordern. Okay, so there's a dramatized one. And, ooh, I'm tempted by the Andy Serkis one, actually. No, what brought this talk to often luckily dodge nuclear apocalypse? Just the some people seem a bit vocal about nuclear war with China at the moment. Silmarillion. Okay. Le Silmarillion. Das Silmarillion. I think the Silmarillion in German would be funny. I don't know why I think that. Narrated by Martin Shaw. Okay. Cool. 15 hours. I'm tempted by the Andy Serkis Lord of the Rings, quite honestly. Maybe. That's maybe something for the future. All righty, you fine people. I am going to go to bed. So, yes, I've managed to get myself half Tim Smithed with my Starward Octave barrels. It's very nice. I like it. I might try and come up with another drink for that later, but it's pretty gosh darn good. Yeah, I think I preferred it in an old-fashioned to a Manhattan, but I'll try and come up with another whiskey cocktail. We'll see. Not necessarily straight away. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to go to bed. So I hope you all are looking after yourselves. Tomorrow night I shall be watching some stuff with Mrs. Angry. Probably a mix of things. Who knows? We might watch... There's probably an episode of Disco we haven't watched. There's probably an episode of Wheel of Time we haven't watched. And then we're watching Lock and Key on Netflix as well. So a bit of a mix of things. It might be a mix of things that we'll be watching. But anyway, I'll probably be doing a live stream on Tuesday. As I said before, going forward, particularly leading into 2022, I might do less live streams. I might start to do some pre-recorded videos on this channel again. Yeah, Megaleech, I haven't started watching Hawkeye yet, but I probably will. And whatever happens next year, I'll probably still be doing live streams on the weekend, like Thursday, Friday, every second Saturday night will probably be live stream. I don't predict the future. I do not predict the future. Anything could happen. I will see you find people another time. But I will say